A friendship can start with something incredibly small, a shared joke, a quick conversation, a stranger helping you carry something heavy, and yet those tiny moments can become some of the most important relationships in your entire life. People cross oceans for friends. They trust them with secrets. They celebrate with them, mourn with them. Sometimes they even consider friends closer than family. But if you think about it, friendship is actually very strange. Your ancestors spent most of human history struggling to survive. Food was scarce, predators were everywhere, a simple injury could become a death sentence. Every day was a fight against hunger, cold, and disease. So why would anyone waste precious time building relationships with people they weren't related to? Why share food with someone who carries none of your genes? Why protect someone else's children? Why risk your life for a person who isn't family? At first glance, friendship seems completely irrational, and yet humans became the most social species on Earth. Not because we accidentally invented better weapons, not because we became stronger, but because somewhere in our distant past, we accidentally created friendship, and that changed everything. Imagine standing on an open grassland 40,000 years ago. The sun is disappearing beyond the horizon. The temperature is dropping fast. In the distance, hyenas are already beginning to call. You belong to a small group of hunter-gatherers, maybe 30 people, maybe less. Everyone around you matters, every hunter, every gatherer, every child, every elder. Life is brutally fragile. If you get sick, you might not recover. If you break a leg, you may never hunt again. If winter arrives before enough food is stored, people die. Now imagine something happens. A hunter falls while chasing an animal. His ankle snaps. He can't walk. He can't hunt. He can't gather food. From a purely selfish perspective, helping him makes little sense. The group could simply move on. But something strange happened in human history. Again and again, people didn't move on. They stayed. They helped. They shared food. They carried the injured. They protected the weak. And over time, those acts created something far more powerful than survival. They created trust. Now here's the important part. Trust didn't appear because humans sat around discussing morality. It appeared because helping others often turned out to be useful. Imagine two hunters. One shares food after a successful hunt, the other never shares anything. Months later, both hunters return empty-handed. Which one is more likely to receive help? The generous one. Not because people are saints, because people remember. This sounds obvious today. But it was revolutionary in the ancient world. Humans discovered something that many other animals never fully developed. A favor could be stored, not physically, mentally. You help me today, I help you tomorrow. Over time, those exchanges became invisible survival contracts. Nobody signed them. Nobody wrote them down, yet they shaped entire communities. And eventually, those practical exchanges started becoming emotional. People didn't just remember who helped them, they started liking them. Think about that for a second. What if friendship wasn't originally created for companionship at all? What if it began as a survival strategy? A system designed to increase the odds that somebody would be there when disaster struck. Because disaster always struck. Ancient life was unpredictable. One bad season could destroy a group. One injury could end a life. One failed hunt could leave everyone hungry. In that environment, having reliable allies was almost as important as finding food. The people with stronger social connections often survived longer. Their children survived more often. Their families had more protection. And slowly, generation after generation, humans became wired to seek friendship. But then something even stranger happened. Friendship expanded beyond survival. Imagine an Ice Age camp at night. A fire crackles in the darkness. Children sleep nearby. The stars stretch across the sky. A few adults sit together talking. No hunting, no gathering, no immediate danger, just conversation, stories, laughter, shared experiences. At some point, friendship stopped being purely practical. Humans started enjoying each other's company. The reward became emotional. Modern genetics and neuroscience suggest that friendship activates many of the same reward systems involved in family bonds. Your brain actually treats trusted friends as something incredibly important, not a luxury, a necessity. That's why loneliness hurts, literally hurts. The same brain regions involved in physical pain become active during social rejection. Your brain reacts as if something dangerous is happening, because for most of human history, something dangerous was happening. Being isolated from your group was terrifying. Alone survival became dramatically harder. No protection, no food sharing, no support, no tribe. Your brain still remembers that ancient reality even if you live in a modern city surrounded by millions of people. Now remember this. Friendship isn't unique because humans cooperate. Many animals cooperate. Wolves cooperate. Dolphins cooperate. Even ants cooperate. What makes humans different is the scale. Humans can form friendships with people who aren't family, who aren't from the same village, who don't even speak the same language. Sometimes humans become friends after a single conversation. That ability transformed our species. A tribe could grow larger, groups could trade, information could spread, skills could be shared, knowledge could survive across generations. Friendship became the glue holding entire societies together. Without it, civilization itself becomes difficult to imagine. Anthropologists studying hunter-gatherer societies discovered something fascinating. Many groups maintain friendship networks far beyond their immediate camp. People develop trusted relationships with individuals living days away. Why? Because one day they may need help. A drought, a famine, a conflict, a disaster. Those distant friendships become lifelines. In a way, ancient humans were creating social insurance long before insurance existed. But perhaps the most emotional evidence comes from archaeology. Scientists have discovered ancient human skeletons showing severe injuries and disabilities. Some individuals survived for years, despite conditions that would have made independent survival nearly impossible. One person lost the ability to hunt. Another suffered major physical limitations, yet they lived for years, sometimes decades. Someone fed them, someone protected them, someone cared. Those bones tell a story, not of strength, but of connection. They reveal something beautiful about our species. Humans didn't dominate the planet because every individual was powerful. Humans dominated because groups learned to care about one another, because helping others became normal, because friendship became part of survival itself, and over thousands of years, that survival tool became one of the deepest emotional experiences humans can have. Today, friendship looks very different. You might text a friend instead of sharing a campfire. You might send a meme instead of sharing food. You might meet people online who live thousands of miles away. The world has changed, but the ancient machinery underneath hasn't. Your brain still searches for allies, still seeks belonging, still wants trusted people nearby, still fears isolation, still feels relief when someone understands you. Right now, somewhere in the world, two strangers are having a conversation that will eventually become a lifelong friendship. Neither of them realizes it yet, neither knows that a relationship is beginning that could shape years of their lives. And in a strange way, they're participating in one of humanity's oldest traditions, a tradition that started long before cities, long before writing, long before history itself, because friendship was never just about having someone to talk to. It was about survival, then trust, then belonging, then meaning. And maybe that's why losing a friend can hurt so much, or why finding a true friend can feel so powerful. Your brain doesn't see friendship as a bonus feature of life. It sees friendship as one of the reasons humans survived it all. So tonight, when you message a friend, laugh at a joke, share a story, or simply spend time with someone you trust, remember what you're really experiencing. Not a modern invention, not a social trend, not a cultural habit, but an ancient survival strategy so successful that it helped transform a vulnerable ape into the most connected species on Earth. And perhaps the most surprising part is this. Humans never sat down and decided to invent friendship. We were simply trying to survive. Friendship was the accident. Changing the world was the consequence.